Hey traders, welcome to another edition of the Crypto Lab with Alex, featured by Trading Analysis. We had a lot of data in the last couple of weeks, so we need to go a little bit over the macro frame, what's going on with rates, with dollar. Also, we're going to look 10-year yields. And of course, then we're going to switch to cryptos, look the total crypto market cap, Bitcoin, Ether charts, and a couple of other cryptos. So please, if you have some chart requests or comments, you can type it in the comment box. So let's start. We had a Fed minutes yesterday, which revealed a little bit of hesitation of majority of members to start or to continue to aggressively to rate hikes on the upside. Although the feeling is still a little bit hawkish, which means that the Fed is still gonna move on the upside, but inflation has ticked lower, not as predicted. So CPI fell from 6.5 to 6.4. I expected was 6.2. Jobs report was pretty big on the upside, and also we had PMI, which is a producer cost, going higher. 0.7 as expected was 0.4. So that was a couple of mixed data that are coming in the last few weeks, which put markets to be a little bit more on a sideways to lower note, since a market expected this whole data, especially PMI and jobs reports, not to come that high as it went. So if we look the stock markets and if we look a couple of other assets classes, much of a hesitation to continue this upside move. So for now we are kind of consolidating. We still don't see much of a price action, so we can change our relatively bullish outlook, but we can see hesitation there in many of the price action. So let's start. Let's use the CME tool for the 22nd of March. 73% after Fed meetings that we're going to go 25 basis points to 475 to 5. And that has dropped. 1 month ago it was 87%, 1 week ago 84%, almost 85. Then 1 day ago 76, and now 73. So 50 basis points, which was rumored by two Fed members. I don't think that will prevail, but anyhow, the probabilities in percentage terms are growing. So we had 1.3% 1 month ago, 15% 1 week ago, 24% 1 day ago, and now we are at 27.0%. But I still think, especially we are going to have a CPI before or on the day that 22nd of March Fed meeting. I have to check that. But we will have them before the Fed meeting. So I think that we might stay on this 25 basis point path. And now we have a 3rd of May, which actually goes for 25 basis points move, 71.3%, 50 basis points move, 28.1%, and then we have 0.7% even bigger. So let me just check that. If we go to 525 so this actually 3rd of May, it's that we're gonna stay on hold for 71%. Yeah, if we go to current is 550, 575, we will go to 475 to 5. So yeah, that's fine. So 25 basis points, 50, and now we have a little bit also going into upper levels, which I don't think it's going to occur. So we are expecting Fed to stop raising rates and became neutral. In one of these, target rate is between 525. It pushed up to 5%, 550. So between 5 to 525 and 525, 550, we expect Fed to stop at basically being neutral. in 2023, and then according to our chart the rates should start to drop in reverse maybe in 2024. So 10-year yields are still looking sideways. We are looking for some type of a wave 4 to anchor here. We do expect this 10-year yields to go to expected CME tool between 5 to 550. So that's a pretty compatible with this fifth wave on the upside. So we do expect potentially this to be a triangle. So a little bit back and forth sideways, and then a final push up to complete this cycle in rates. So from lows, COVID lows, this will be a fully fledged developed 5-wave move on the upside, and then we will basically start to do some type of a correction. We still don't know which one. It can be complex, it can be triangle, it can be just simple ABC, but I think this period from, let's say, March, April of 2023, even until the half or end 2024, we should see a pause in rates, and first rates going down. Of course, this is the real rates. Fed will not actually follow that, so they might dump 25 basis points in 2024 when we see rates back to 2.1, and then a correction on the upside, and then final push where I think after we will go to another inflationary cycle. So we will see a period of 1.5 to 2 years pause while this correction unfolds, and then inflation might continue going further higher. So what is actually interesting for us is that risk on or risk assets classes might move on the upside while the rates are moving lower. So we have a window of 1.5 or 1.5 year until this correction is unfolded for the risk assets to go on the upside, and of course cryptos as well. So this is the main case thesis, and for now it's working good. We have been looking this yield chart for last year and a half, and has been this chart has been unfolding as we were looking for the potential 5-wave move on the upside. The only thing we need to see for this thesis to work is, of course, one more push up and then a large pullback. So how do we reflect that on dollar index? Obviously dollar, as the rates was making some pause here, was pushing lower in 5 waves. Now we have a correction. I don't think this is going to be simple ABC. More likely we're going to have a WXY, also lasting to the March-April window. And then at least we're going to get another push on the downside, which kind of agrees with our outlooks on rates here, because one of the FX main features is interest rate differential. Of course, it depends what the other central banks are doing, but most of the major ones, except of Japan, which is still in negative, are lagging a little bit more than Fed, which has been always a progressive central banks among others that are making the first move either on the upside or on the downside. But in general, dollar is in a corrective pullback after these 5 waves, and we are most likely going to see a complex correction taking us to this March-April timeframe, from where the dollar should at least go down to 92.90 in a measured move, and then if we pass these levels, then this is going to be transformed in the third wave. I do not expect that, mostly because of my conservative nature. I don't want to give any kind of a shocking display of the chart, so I will be modest, looking for an ABC and then potentially reversal. If these levels are passed, and usually we look for a measured move, then I will transform this into 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which calls for a much lower dollar in the years to come. So we will see how that will unfold, but simple ABC, it's I think a higher probability event currently. So total crypto market cap are moving up from lows in 5 waves. We'll look this from the perspective of the ABC move on the upside or a full 5-wave swing towards the new highs. So we still observe this as a 4th wave correction. So if we are wrong and we need to anchor this wave 4 and 5 here, we will do just an ABC and then collapse. So for now, I'm still looking the bullish scenario with a more probability, looking all of this, what will happen with dollar, and all of this, what will happen with the rates. So I would like to stay with the 1, 2, up in 3, 4, and 5. But also you will see until we see the cross of these levels here, me using this ABC as also a conservative approach. So this will be a 5 waves up, which are all maybe done. Maybe we're going to have a little test of this previous wave for highs. So a little bit more upside, and then we're going to see a pullback when the rate starts to move higher, and then a continuation on the upside. So you can see how these pictures from all these fronts kind of make sense when you see what the overall tendencies are, at least for now. So we're going to stay on a bullish side, expecting correction to come maybe from here in an ABC pullback, and support will be around 923 billion. So if we move to a Bitcoin chart, which is pretty much the same as the total crypto market cap, we are seeing the same picture. So from lows, if we go on a daily chart, we see a 5-wave move on the upside, which is most likely done. We have a hesitation here, which might turn into some type of a diagonal wave A, up in B, down in C. So potentially wave 1 is done. There is one more target up there at 27, almost 28K. But I think this starts to be more of a pullback version, and I will not consider this to be a correction that matches any of these corrections. The only thing how this will work is basically if we have this as a 1 down into smaller 3, 4, and 5, and then we correct. So I still don't know that. We still don't see any large move lower to label this as a wave A. So we have to have patience to see. Otherwise, if we start pushing higher, this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we will go down from here. So I'm still a little bit hesitant to actually anchor this wave 1 because always you have two targets. So from lows, we have a really clean 5-wave sequence. So we have a wave 1 down in 2, a very nice sharp vertical move on the upside in a wave 3, flat in a wave 4, and then a final push up to the first target. Second one is always possible, but then you look what's going on here, and the only option this can continue on the upside is this, that this represents a lesser degree wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and we go down from here. So we will see if this starts to move lower further towards 22K. I think we will be able to lock this in as some type of a diagonal A wave to the downside, pullback in B and down in C. And as you can see, I have here a wave 2. This can be a B wave. We do expect after the correction is done to Bitcoin to go at least to 40K or even above. If we look the overall analysis that calls this a 4th wave correction on the larger time frame, and then a 5-wave move to actually achieve this 5th wave target on the upside. So we are still looking, but as I said, I will continue to track this as A, down in B, up in C, and then if we pass equality or a measured move, I'm going to transform that in a full 5-wave sequence, and basically a continuation of the trend in cryptos or in Bitcoin further to the upside. So that's all depends how the market will react, especially stocks, when we see potentially this pause coming. Probably this will be a bullish event for stocks, and therefore we have to stay with our wave counts and confirm our macro analysis, and actually see also Bitcoin to be bullish. On Ether, as I said many times, Ether has been much more progressed than Bitcoin. I do think we're going to see a bigger uprise in Ether, looking at Ether Bitcoin chart, which I will show you. So we still have this compression of volatility, which comes from this high. And once this is done and we have a little bit more to go, you will see a hard break either on the upside or on the downside. In this case, we are looking for the break on the upside from here. Would I label this as a triangle? Maybe, but I would like to have it as it is for now. So we already labeled this as a wave 1, wave 2. Ethereum is trading above this 200 moving average in this compression volatility pattern. So I will like to look this as a potentially orange wave 1 done, pullback down to 1,500, 1,450, and then I think we're going to see a verticality breakout on the upside in this orange wave 3. So this will be 1, 2, 1, 2, and then a continuation on the upside. In the case this is some type of a triangle, you will see a similar thing, wave 1, wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. So it will be basically the same pattern, almost just a little bit less compressed than that you are seeing here. So if we look Ethereum Bitcoin chart, which is functioning still very nicely, we are seeing a wave 2 zone slowly to be in the sight. So if you look at the whole 5-wave move on a weekly level, you will see that we still have one more leg on the upside to go. So this was a diagonal expanding one, wave 1 down in 2, up in 3, WXY for wave 4 without the wave count invalidation, and then from there you have a nice 5-wave move up in 1. This is clearly a corrective pullback currently unfolding. I think we're going to go into this box. It's not necessary, but I think we're going to touch a lower lows than this A wave lows, and then we're going to start expanding further on the upside according to this wave count. Wave count invalidation is there at 0.049. But I think looking at the Ethereum chart, I think that Ether will be favored over Bitcoin until end of 2023, most likely beginning of 2024, because it will take time this to unfold on the upside. And then from these levels, which is one of the measurements in a Fib ratio that we are looking for a 5th wave target, we might see a reversal on the downside, and then Bitcoin will overtake the actual dominance. So for now, we are staying, as you can see also, on a more advanced, in our opinion, Ether chart than Bitcoin. That Ethereum Bitcoin cross is also telling us the same story. Okay, so I guess that Bitcoin and Ether are clear. So if you have any questions, can you please type it in the box. So as the other cryptos are concerned, we have pretty advancing bullish developments in others. So this is Polkadot. I have this as a 1-2-1-2. So maybe when cryptos start to go sideways a little bit more lower, we might see this pullback here. We will not have a wave degree violation here. I don't like to anchor wave 1 here because wave 2 will be too small for the wave 4. There is no respect of the right look guideline. And that is something useful to look if you're looking markets through the lens of the Elliott Wave methodology. In my opinion, the wave 1 is already done. This was some type of a pullback, and then we have a first 5 waves up, and I'm waiting for this secondary pullback to complete. So you can see also we had Anchor going higher in last couple of days pretty drastically, so I don't think this is still done. We have more to go in this first sequence, I think, on the upside. We also are looking this Binance coin to be and completing some triangulation form on weekly and then continue higher. So we still think that we have more room on the upside to go, because this has been a pretty much sideways price action, which we see as a triangle. Triangles are in fact very rare patterns. They are painting the picture of the balancing force between the bulls and bears, and therefore a sideways price action, as you can see it. What I can show you, Matic is still working pretty much nicely on the upside. We have a very nice analysis on this wave 4 pullback and projection of this wave 5, which came just a touch short of our target, and now I think we are doing also some type of a second wave pullback in Matic, but Matic still looks pretty nice. Sorry about the mess on the chart, but we still do see a potentially further continuation on the upside. Let me just remove a couple of things okay, so I will need to do it afterwards. Anyhow, we do see Matic continuing further on the upside for now. Solana is moving a touch lower, so potentially we are still looking for this B wave lows and continuation on the upside, which kind of all tells the same story. We are in the potentially process of a correction and a pullback, and when it's done, we're going to see more upside on cryptos overall. So let me see your questions. Tessa Shvin, sorry if I pronounced wrong your name. Hi Alex, could you check ZIL? ZIL, let me see. I don't know when I checked last time ZIL. Yeah, from lows we have a nice 5-wave development, so that's relatively clear. Oh, well, 1, 2, up in 3, 4, and 5. Yeah, so we might be in some type of a. This is a very, very ugly price action here, as you can see it. So it's hard to discern what's going on there. Let me just want to. So then this might be 4, and this may be 5. Let me just see how to put this in a perspective. And this is some type of an ABC. So maybe this is some type of a leading diagonal, a very strange one on the upside, very sideways but itching upside price action. So let me just try to do that. So if we label this as wave A, maybe B, and wave C may be already starting, and this might be a first part, and then we're going to see a pullback in a wave 2, 3, 4, and 5 for now. So I usually do ABCs. I never like to kind of moon things on the upside. When the quality is passed, it's easy to transform this into a wave 3 on the upside. So I always suggest people to be more modest in their expectations, and then market might surprise them. That's a kind of a better approach, in my opinion. Alex, do you think Bitcoin miners will do well? Well, if Bitcoin goes up, they will do well. I mean, that's relatively simple. More Bitcoin is expensive, and we have a halving at 2024. So the reward on a Bitcoin mining will drop to 3 Bitcoins, I think, and that will cause, I think, many miners even to more group because of the capacity and the cost. So we will see. Definitely until halving, we might see a good results for miners, at least on an ABC move up in a Bitcoin. So they should, Mara, Riot, and a couple of other stocks connected with miners are moving on the upside. So with crypto, sorry, I don't know specifically if they're tied to miners. Okay, so let me go. Alex wants X bar, and Alex, what what do you need to be more sure that this is what I don't understand the question, and I have to be more specific. What do you need to be more sure that this is a wave one on what, on which? I'm pretty sure. I mean, you mean one in a case I'm looking for a wave five on the upside. So that's very simple. In fact, I mean, when you have the beginning of some uptrends, you better start with an ABC. Why? Because ABCs are corrective moves, which are basically stays within the parallel channels, and also they have a specific a measured move quality, which means a measured move quality. It means that they are equal to each other. Okay, so for example, when you take a Fibonacci projection tool, and when you place it in the beginning of a wave A, end of the wave A, and the end of the wave B, you get equality, which we call a measured move. So anything that passes a measured move calls for a potential change into a more bullish structure. So then this will be wave one, wave three. So only when this happens, we will have certainty the wave three is developing. Okay, so there is much more time left to that. So until I'm happy with the ABC, which is also gives a very okay visibility, not much hope, but then if market surprise you and you're long from here in a B wave, it's just added bonus. Okay. Max, can you take a look at the Doge? Yeah, I didn't see anything sufficient in Doge yet to actually convince me. For now, it's still not. I mean, it's very, very weak. It doesn't mean it might not wake up. You know how these cryptos work. So this might be a beginning of it. I have no idea. I label this as a failed fifth here because it doesn't make a sense. The structure doesn't make a sense. So this will be wave one and wave two. And maybe we are starting a smaller or A, B up in C. So the same conversation that we had. And then on a smaller time frame, this might be a wave one, and we are now in some type of a wave two. 0.073 might be some type of a support. I'm not watching much Dogecoin, but potentially it might wake up. But this is for now, it's not so developed pattern. Kava. I don't know if I ever looked at one. I always like to look new things. Oh my lord, let's see what's going on here. Leading diagonal, yeah, maybe. Yeah, you can never be sure in these things. I mean, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. A couple of cryptos had perfect leading diagonals, and then they traded below the beginning lows. So I'm just saying. So if this is a leading diagonal, then you have a pullback. And also, when you have leading diagonals, 38% Fibonacci retracement is the most common one, because compressed volatility on the upside, which is expressed by the leading diagonal pattern, doesn't have a much sense if you have a big correction to the downside. Then why this happened doesn't make much sense. So this is a compression volatility pattern, which means that volatility accumulates energy, and that after a small pullback, usually to this 2.41, you will see something pretty sizable move on the upside. Okay, so we don't see that. We see a very deep correction. So I have no signs here that this ABC is done. And then from lows, 1, 2, 3, maybe we have 5 waves. Maybe we are in some type of a correction. but this is left to be seen. Let me just see on a smaller time frame, 1, 2, up in 3, 4, maybe ABC. So yeah, it's still wobbling back and forth around. So I'm not sure. It might work as a leading dial, it might not, because of the low liquidity. So that's the only thing I can say. Yeah, Timmy, Todd is on vacation. That's why we don't have Wednesday broadcast. S&P, we are still have bullish and bearish options. So we are still expecting some of the clues. In my opinion, looking all of this data and macro things, I'm more bullish, but you never know. I mean, it's still shaky. It's still shaky. Market is not so determined how long the Fed will go. Although I think it's relatively clear already now, we might not pass 525, 550 maybe, but above that, I don't see it for now. Yeah, okay, let's look one more chart, and that's it for today, guys. If you want to check out our service, you can go and check Trading Analysis website. We have a trial for cryptos, much more content for our members, crypto weekly members videos, chart requests, and many other things. I think it's 27 bucks for 15 days. So you might want to watch us what we do if you need some guidance, normal guidance. We are not a moon type guidance or guides. Yeah, DAG, there is a couple of these DAGs. I don't know which one. Probably it's Constellation Bitcoin. Yeah, okay, Constellation Network. Okay, so which exchange has the biggest data? Let's check. Yeah, this one. Okay, 5 waves up. Yeah, this one is still kind of a testing this upper line. So if you look this as a 1, 2, up in 3, 4, and 5, so support might be around this level. So at 0.044. Okay, so this may be some consolidation. Sorry, in B wave, and then we move touch lower. So from here, if you see a breakout of this trend line, this might continue further up. Then what you want to do is basically have just a corrective channel, and then if passes this corrective channel on the upside, the chance will increase that this will develop in fully developed 5-way move. Okay, so it's relatively simple. Okay guys, so thank you very much for being with us. Click the like button and subscribe if you want to give us a small reward for our work. We of course want our views to be seen on the YouTube, so if you can do that for us, thank you very much. Yeah, still markets are still shaky. We are looking on all fronts. But for now, cryptos are developing relatively in line. So we're going to continue to track what's going on cryptos. And of course, we're going to present to you our outlook next week or next Thursday. So stay well, trade carefully, and see you next Thursday, guys. Bye-bye.